Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. This is season 6, episode number 6. Tonight, Andy, is the sports edition. How are you?
I am wonderful. Just turning off the phone there. Yes, doing
Well,
great.
it's December 16th, 2024. We're halfway through the month of December. Lots of football, lots of basketball, ice hockey. Everything's going on at the same time here. Hot stove for baseball.
Yes.
We got a lot to cover tonight. So let's go ahead with our intro.
Yeah, it's kind of I'm going to put a little bit of a video. I'm sure everybody's seen it already, but just kind of leads into the trivia question. So let's watch this here real quick.
We met a long time ago. At least I saw you.
Right.
How you doing?
When you fell down for him. I'm going to get my sack back. I'm going to get my sack back, dude.
You probably would hurt me.
Well, I don't care. You hurt me. You hurt me. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You really hurt me. You hurt me, Brett.
We got to get back to this, Brett. I'm sorry.
Anybody will tell.
Okay, first of all, that was great watching Brett speechless like that. That was just the thing of beauty right there, I thought. We all saw that video. Mark Gastineau confronts Brett Favre at must have been an autograph signing of some sort. Gastineau, very emotional. Coming off the steroids all those years. Sorry, I didn't say that. But he kept saying, I want my sack back. You fell down for him. The trivia question is, who did he fall down for?
And so, Gastineau when they first started recording the term sack, Gastineau was one of the best at it, had the record. And then when it was tied with this individual, allegedly Favre, if you watch the video, it looks like he kind of laid down and didn't go put up too much of a fight and got sacked. And the record now, Gastineau got moved into second place. And now he's saying years later that really hurt him. I don't think necessarily emotionally, but I think financially his career, his value did not go as high as he planned. And so he confronted him. Well done.
Well, and the reason the video came up, I don't know how old the video is. ESPN just did a 30 for 30 on the New York Sack Exchange, which was Klecko and Gastineau and all those guys. So, funny, it comes up now, but I think it's kind of funny how Gastineau.
I think that just came out, last week or a couple days ago when that video.
That's when the video resurfaced for pimping for it, but
wow, it's wild stuff.
I get it. He fell down for him. I didn't go through all of Gastineau's sacks. Some of the guys maybe kind of went down a little easier so they didn't get their wind knocked out of them type of stuff. They've all done it. You look at the one, did Favre take a dive? Okay, to a point, but if he stood there, he's going to get the knocked out of him. So, But anyway, on to more important pressing things here.
Yes.
We are, of course, the best podcast anywhere, according to this gal.
Oh, yes, correct.
Now, some places you see this, they call it the editorial or the opinion page. But we're not that sophisticated. We just have the soapbox.
Or the op-ed, yes.
Yes, we just call it the soapbox here. So here it is. Here we go. Caitlin Clark was Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. I got no problem with that. But the rest of the WNBA does. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on the cover, she says. This is the gal who's the owner of the Washington Mystics WNBA team. Why couldn't they put the whole team on there, or the whole league on there? Another journalist goes, serious question. Why is it hard for some to admit that Caitlin Clark is the reason why the WNBA skyrocketed? Here's my point. Yes, Caitlin Clark is the reason they went up. She should have got Athlete of the Year. Now, I'm not saying that some people didn't keep watching WNBA because as they're watching Caitlin Clark, they realized, oh, hey, this player's good. That player's good. Hey, I like that player's game. Hey, that team's got cool jerseys. Other people might have picked up and watched other non-Caitlin Clark games, but they wouldn't have seen your team or your player if they didn't see Caitlin to start with. You go to McDonald's all the time, you get the Big Mac. You love the Big Mac. Then after a while, you realize, man, these fries aren't half bad either. But you still go for the Big Mac. That's what I'm saying here. You go to the WNBA to watch Caitlin Clark. Just, oh, by the way, this person's good and that person's good too. You pick up other people. Should the whole WNBA be on the cover? No. Caitlin's the reason the other people got their love. So,
yeah, it's and it's a spot on the money. Why? Who else would be on the cover for Athlete of the Year? If you're going to pick someone in WNBA, it has to be Caitlin.
Yep.
If you're going to pick another sport or another athlete, so be it. But they picked her and named her the Athlete of the Year. Now, Andy, here's my question. Was this in response to the backlash that was raised when she wasn't announced to be on the roster for the Olympic? There's a lot of backlash. And now they said, okay, here, we'll throw a bone. We'll give her this award.
I don't think so. I kind of, hate to play the conspiracy theory card on this. So my best friends are conspiracy theorists, but I really think Caitlin, her people asked her not to be on the Olympic team. She just came off a Final Four run in college. 2 months later, starting the season. That's a lot of pressure for one person, and she just said no. That's my opinion.
Got it. Yeah, I disagree. I can't imagine her or any of her people saying no when she was actually specifically told she was going to be on it. So that's when the backlash came, and that's when Caitlin Clark started getting a little feisty in the WNBA when she found out that she wasn't going to make it. So there's got to be something there, and maybe that was it. Now, Caitlin, all the reasons I love Caitlin, followed up this announcement now with the statement that she made. And that may be a separate soapbox issue for another day. But
yes,
that was not a good statement that she made. But hats off, congratulations! She's on the cover of Time for the Athlete of the Year. Well done, well deserved. And she is, once again, like Andy said, she is the reason you're going. She is the reason you're tuning in. Yes, there's other fans. Yes, there's other teams. Yes, there's other things. But no one was following the WNBA at this level until she came aboard. This is the whole wave that they're riding. It's called a once in a generational talent, and this is it.
All right, a couple WNBA notes or NBA notes. There was a big deal in this record. Oh, these two teams, the Mavericks and the Warriors, 48 3-pointers combined in a game. Oh, that's a record. But there was a game earlier that week that had 75 missed threes, a record. The NBA is becoming a league where if it's not a 3-pointer, it's a dunk, and it's just boring to me to watch. It's whatever.
I agree.
Coach, NBA, Bison, men's Coach David gets 200 career wins. I don't have the exact year by year here, but figure it out. It's 28 wins a year for 10 years at least. So congratulations, Coach. And the way it is in college basketball, I don't know if it's the 200 wins it's the great thing or the 10, 12 years he's been there to get to 200 wins. What's the bigger accomplishment in college basketball nowadays? I don't know. But each sport kind of has our landmark, and there isn't really one in sports, but 200 wins is a nice number.
Yeah, congrats.
So to get a drink through. All right. Speaking of Bison, the football team will play Saturday against the Bunnies in the semifinals. Now, I'm not wearing my Bison hat when I say this.
Okay.
I think the Bison win this game simply because of the fact they're the home team.
Okay.
That's how close I think it is. If this game was at SDSU would win. If it was a neutral site, I'd probably pick SDSU. I'm sorry. There, I said it. But it's at home. I think the Bison are going to get the nod here. It's going to be close. The Bunnies have won a lot in a row. Both quarterbacks have been playing long careers. Someone's going to run out of gas here pretty soon.
This will be a heavily watched game just because of the names. Now, this is just one of the semifinals. The other one's also that day later on. But
yes, University of South Dakota and Montana State.
Great games.
Back to back. Montana State's the team to beat right now. So here we go. You could say that other game, the Bison and the Bunnies, like, oh, it's a championship game. It's on the wrong bracket, blah, blah, blah. No. That championship game is going to be fun to watch. And if it's South Dakota, they beat the Bison for the last game of the season too. So it's not like they've backed into it. They were a good team all year too. So you got 4 very quality teams right there.
Awesome.
Speaking of the championship, after this year, it's in Frisco. That's going to move to Vanderbilt University. First Bank Stadium in Nashville hosted the championship for a couple of years. Well, they do some renovations at that Toyota Stadium there in the Frisco, Fargo South. Nashville Sports Complex, or Sports Council, and Ohio Valley Conference will serve as co-hosts for the 25-26 championships. The city of Nashville and Vanderbilt University. The move to Nashville will mark the return to Tennessee, where they used to have the championship from 97 to 09.
Ooh.
And they're held in Chattanooga. And here's where it's been before. I think I moved around for a while. Then Chattanooga had it. Then Frisco. I'm trying not to be a homer here. If the Bison have been there the last 11 years, and there's always been a team from the Missouri Valley in there for so many years. Hey, guys, U.S. Bank Stadium should hold this bad boy. If I could put a bowl game in there, host this bad boy in January.
Not bad.
If you always get Missouri Valley teams up there, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, South Dakota, Montana, Minnesota's a lot shorter drive than Tennessee.
Good point.
Maybe a new segment. I don't know.
Yes.
The Hams. I was going to say wager of the quarter, but we'll say wager of the month just to make, suck people in to watch all the time, see what the bet is. All right, here's Dan's picks.
Okay.
He kind of sissied out one with the favorites on most of them, except for the SMU games. The SMU going pretty far. And Notre Dame, what is with the? Oh, I forgot. You're part Catholic. I forgot. Yeah. kind of with the homer pick a little bit there.
Yes.
But so you got Notre Dame, Oregon in the finals. Notre Dame, a lot of people think shouldn't be in because they're not in a conference, which you covered, I'm sure, before. But so there's his picks. Arizona State over Texas. Seeding wise, no, but some people would say it would be an upset. And there's my picks. I got Oregon winning it all also. I got Boise State in the championship game there. So that's gonna be the make or break for it, I think, right there. That bottom bracket there.
Okay.
I think we're kind of close to the same up top. It's gonna be that bottom half. I got Tennessee over Ohio State. You got Ohio State winning. So it's gonna be a dog eat dog here. Points per game. So it's not more points weighted on. It's point per game. So we'll see what happens here.
First game's at home, so it's going to be very fun to watch those games on campus. I think it's going to be a blast. 1 Friday, 3 on Saturday.
If for some reason we're tied going to the championship, we both have Oregon, we'll call it a combined score pick or something like that. Or
we like to go with the Hams 30-pack. It's a solid bet, right?
Yes. All right. Marshall will no longer play Army in the bowl game because of the transfer portal. Kind of sad for both schools. We kind of were fear this is going to happen. ACC commissioner is calling for penalties for teams to withdraw from bowl games after Marshall backed out of the Independence Bowl. So here you got some teams that were 6-6 or 7-5 would love to go, and let's go to Marshall. Then everybody says, "Oh, we made a bowl game. I'm going to take my ball and go elsewhere." Now, and this is the coaches too. The coaches all took other jobs and everything else. That's how unseriously these people take these bowl games. Yet somehow they're still getting big time marketing, TV, and attention.
Yeah, this is an interesting case. This whole case I looked at today to see what happened and why it happened and what's going to happen and how is it resolved. So Marshall's head coach wrapped up a 4-year contract, and their team won the Sun Bowl East and then played in the Sun Bowl championship against the winner of the West, and they won. So they won the championship. First time in 10 years, Marshall won the Sun Belt. Hats off, rah, rah, rah. Everything's good. The coach now enters contract extension talks. And it went south, and they couldn't find an agreement. And he got an offer from another school and says, "Sounds good. I'll go there. See ya. Bye-bye." He goes to a competitor, Southern Miss. He goes to Southern Miss, the old Brett Favre stomping grounds. He's the head coach there. Now, God only knows if he's taking the staff with, but a bunch of players enter the portal either because of that or because of something else. And then they nominate the assistant coach as the interim head coach. He does only one press conference saying the Independence Bulls were going to be interested to go. We're flattered to go. We're flattered to play against Army. He said at that point, we're going to be light on guys because there's a lot in the transfer portal. And due to medical reasons, you can't fall below the minimum number of players on a roster for a game because there's too many, could be too many injuries or not enough backups. So they said, we'll monitor that to see how it happens. Now they've got, I counted today, Andy, I think there's 33 players in the portal from Marshall.
Jesus.
And they're not leaving because they're bad. They won the conference. They had a great season. They might be leaving for the coach. They might be leaving for whatever reasons. Now they name a head coach the other day, and the university's all yay, rah, rah. They can't wait. He's a West Virginia native. They can't wait to meet because he's been a defensive coordinator for years, assistant coaching for years. Finally, always wanted to be a head coach. They brought him on. They're all happy about it. They don't have a roster, so they can't. Now they've been deemed ineligible. They can't even play, so they backed out. So next year, they're obviously in the Sun Belt, so they're going to be playing against the Southern Miss. That'll be an interesting game. But so they got a new head coach. Things are going to be finally, the dust will settle. Now, this transfer portal, Andy, I think we know this, but I think maybe listeners don't know. You could enter the portal on the first day, which is, I think, December 12th. Yep. Now, we've talked about a lot of these conference games are just getting done. The championships are getting done. The bowl season hasn't yet started. And now you can throw your hat in the ring for the portal. How bad is that? Well, it is. It is bad because the season's not over. But they also give you, when the portal ends, the window ends, I think there is a 10 or 12 day window that they give you one last chance to say, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to back out. I want to pull my name back out of the portal.
Yep.
So they may have that if they want to play for this new coach. So who knows what's going to go on. In the meantime, the Independence Bowl says, let's invite now Louisiana Tech to play. They said, yes, sounds good. We'll go. So it's Army, ranked 22nd in the nation, against Louisiana Tech, who has a 5-7 record.
Yep.
So every team in the bowl has to have 6 wins to be eligible. Remember, this happened one year with the Gophers. Yep. And so now they got to pick a team with 5 wins. So hats off to them for going in and playing. Army gets a lesser of a opponent, but it's still going to be good. Independence Bowl, historically, I looked it up, was the 11th most historical bowl game of all the bowl games. So it's up there because of its long, rich history. But I read an actual article somewhere that said that the Independence Bowl was actually canceled. So that's what got me to look into this, because Marshall pulled out, but the event is not canceled. They just found a new replacement. So lots of confusion surrounding this entire deal, but hopefully this will not happen again, because what do you do? This transfer portal, there's 3,000 kids in the portal. 32 months, I think, right now.
Your name is Dr. So-and-so, and you're a Marshall alum, and you hear they're going, and so you buy your tickets and hotels and everything else. Now the team backs out.
So now you got to refund all the tickets for the people.
They're trying to sell those or something like that, yeah.
So they'd unwind all these ticket sales and the VRBOs and apartments and condos to come down there and now do the whole thing for another team, and it is a fiasco. But this has really been big news as far as bowl games. So strange.
And here it is, like I said, Louisiana Tech 5-7 will replace Marshall and play Army. So there we go.
Yeah, it was, I think, 23 or 25 players in the portal. Last I checked, it was 33. So they are not going to be able to field a team at all. So they can't go. So what a mess.
All right, here we go. Travis Hunter wins the Biletnikoff Award for most outstanding wide receiver in college, and he also got the Heisman. Yet San Jose wide receiver Nick Nash was first in receptions per game, first in receiving yards per game, and first in receiving touchdowns. Yeah. not what you know, it's who you know.
So it's interesting. I mean, every receiving category that you try to win,
The 5 majors.
and he did it. He wasn't second in a couple, it wasn't third in a couple, it wasn't sixth in another one. He was first. He ran the table.
And if you got first receptions per game and total receptions, so that's consistency all year. He didn't have like 3 good games that really ballooned the numbers up. He was consistent all year long.
Yeah, that's a shame. I don't mind if his or a Colorado dude makes the MVP, the Heisman, but the receiving the Biletnikoff trophy, you have to, I don't see how you not give it to Nash.
Right. It's, again, I just report the news. I try not to make it.
It's wild. This could have been a soapbox right there.
Yes. Oh, these are all kind of like sub soapboxes all day on this stuff here. This little picture I saw Danny Ainge in 1981 when he played both the NBA and MLB, but looking like he wasn't good enough to play for any of them. This is like some bad actor who got thrown into the spot to be the star.
That's a great meme right there.
And look at the wristbands are the best. The sweat wristbands just scream 1981 all over.
The 3/4 sleeves, the wristband. Oh my goodness.
All right. The Olympics are going to be in Italy. But if the luge track isn't ready, by God, they're going to have those in Lake Placid, New York. There's nowhere between Italy and there that they could see these. You see these things on the Olympics all the time too. Hey, here's the place that had the Olympics 12 years ago, and the facilities are all run down to dirt.
Yes.
Lake Placid's always kept theirs up for testing and for training, and they have some, I'll call it tournaments or yearly world championships there. All these rests all go to crap. That's why in the Olympics, you show like 4 cities always hold the summer, 4 always hold the winter, kind of rotated around. So you always got state-of-the-art equipment and facilities there. So
that's not a bad idea.
Here we go. Yay. All right. Homework assignment. Relook up this case. I'll have more on it next week, but I want you all to know what I'm talking about first.
Yes.
I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. And seriously, Dan and I might do a special just on this one alone.
It warrants it, I think.
Before we go off and start saying our bits and pieces on it, I want everybody else to refresh themselves with it first. It kind of came out late in the week, over the weekend. You kind of missed stuff over the weekend. Do your homework on this. If not, maybe over the Christmas time, we might do a special just on this case alone. That's your homework. Just not naming names or anything else. It's the Duke Lacrosse case 2006. Excuse me. Brush up on it, and we'll talk to you later.
This is 18 years ago.
The Florida Panthers are closing in on hosting an outdoor hockey game to be played at Marlins Ballpark. Now, before you go, what? Los Angeles did pull it off. The Kings had one in LA once, years ago. So it can be done. So just, you heard it here first.
It's a challenge.
Yes. One more thing here. Ryan Sandberg put this up to my Chicago Cubs, National Baseball Hall of Fame, and City of Chicago, and all my loyal fans. I want to share an update on my prostate cancer. Unfortunately, we recently learned the cancer has relapsed and has spread to other organs. This means that I'm back to more intense treatment. We will continue to be positive, strong, and fight to beat this. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers for me and my family, Ryan Sandberg. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to be one. I'm just going to go off voice of experience here of friends and family who have had cancer relapse. That's not good. It becomes back more aggressive. It spreads to other organs. It's not like poison ivy where you think you got it just in your leg, that's all over your body. That's kind of like that, but worse than poison ivy, of course. But that's how it spreads. It's more aggressive. It's all over. Thoughts and prayers for Ryan Sandberg. I'm, kind of glad he got in the Hall of Fame when he was still healthy and could enjoy it. I always feel bad for guys like Dave Parker who are going in now where it's a little too late. Almost feels like giving the charity one because of his health. But Point trying to do is his cancer's back. He did do the right things beforehand. Please, please, please. I don't care if it's man cancer, woman cancer, cancer. Get those tests. Go in, get checked. Don't try to look at WebMD to see what to do. If something's not right, go get it looked at. That's a soapbox in its own right there, but yeah.
Yes.
Get checked out. Like I said, thoughts and prayers for the Cubs and for Sandberg and for just people in general on that. That's just something we got to take care of.
Yeah, Randy Moss announced on his social media as well that he's dealing with some medical issues. He's going to take a leave of absence from ESPN to go get that squared away. So, D3 football, Andy, they're down to the Final Four. Now, Bethel, local team Bethel, eliminated, got to the Final Four. D2, Final Four was last weekend. Title game coming up this Saturday. The championship, national championship for D2 will take place. That should be good. Minnesota State Mankato was in there, and they got beat. Also, close games for both Bethel and Mankato, but that's two local teams going quite far in the Final Four and doing very good representing there. So, once again, we're getting to the end of these seasons. It's always fun. FCS down to the Final Four. D1.
And three of them, you count three of them as local. 2 South Dakotas and a North Dakota school.
South Dakota State, Montana, North Dakota State. It's going to be fun with all those teams in there. Now, Division I, the college football playoffs is going to be kicking off this Friday with one game, 3 on Saturday. Now, sprinkled in there, even starting tomorrow, is the bowl season. Now, I guess there were a one bowl game on Saturday and another one on Saturday. Was one of those an FSC bowl game, Andy?
I can't remember. Without saying poor me, I sprained my thumb this weekend, flipping between the Bison game and the Army-Navy game.
Perfect.
I felt like that guy in the Geico commercial. I pulled the muscle.
Yes. Oh, yes. You're doing it again. Yes.
Yeah.
Over. So, so there was 2 bowl games already done, and the rest will start now tomorrow. And we're starting at the lower level bowl. That's not a shot, but it's just a lower tier, we'll call it tier bowl games. All of them are good. All those are important. Army-Navy game was Saturday. Navy won 31-13. And remember, this is the year Army's good, ranked in the top 25 in the nation.
Well, Navy was ranked early in the season too, so they were both good squads.
Wow, good game.
Yeah, Navy beat them up, took their lunch money, and beat them up for not having enough lunch money. So
now you talked earlier, Andy, as far as 200 wins. I'd like to do a shout out to New Prague High School varsity wrestling coach Dan Wagner. Recorded his 200th win.
Yes,
New Prague wrestling that last week. Tough thing to do in any sport is, once again, for the longevity or the wins. Now, New Prague, long storied history of wrestling. They've never had a coach win 200 career games ever. This is 200 matches. First time it's ever been done in New Prague High School Trojan history. Hats off there to Dan Wagner.
Yeah, congrats.
That's all I've got. We got a trivia question answer, right?
Yes, we start the video earlier. Mark Gastineau confronting Brett Favre. Want my sack back? I'm coming off steroids. I can see where Gastineau's upset, but A, it's been how long? Get over it. And B, it is what it is. But who did Favre apparently take a dive for? Do you remember?
Michael Strahan.
Yes. And, if you watch that video, Strahan was going to clock him. It's not like Favre said, hey, I'm going to roll right and stand there. You come get me. He was going to get sacked. He just fell down without trying to scramble away from it and causing issues. You see quarterbacks do that all the time now, dropping down without, I'm not going to waste my time getting out of this, maybe fumbling, losing the ball, whatever. I'm just going to go down. It's not like, it wasn't like the play you see it in college a lot too, in high school, where it's like the player ripped their knee in the offseason and they were one basket away from 1,000 points. They let them come on with their leg wrapped up and get a layup. Their team gets the layup. We lost 15 seconds. It's 2-2. Let's go. It wasn't one of those things like, well, if you let me get my touchdown pass, I'll let you get the sack. It wasn't one of those. Strahan was going to get him on that play. He was going to get him.
Now, if you saw on X, Brett Favre responded to the video to the what we'll call the confrontation
Right.
in I think it was a 6-point bullet point answer to all of Gastineau's questions he responded to. So if you watch the video or watch it again, and if you want to go online and just search it up and look for it, he did respond to all those things because he was taken aback by this confrontation to begin with and wasn't ready for it. But yes, the cameraman and camera crew were there possibly for the documentary, or they knew this confrontation would happen, but they got it on film. Favre was there also, got blindsided by the whole thing, but very interesting to watch.
Well, yeah, Favre just started signing a bunch of stuff. He probably thought, well, it's a photo op with Gastineau. Sure, I'll go shake hands with them and we'll both sign something together. Because that's the attitude Favre had. Oh, what do you want me to sign for you, Mark?
And there may have been, 6 or 7 athletes there on little tables signing stuff, and those two were there. But they had it all filmed when they approached. They reached out the hand to shake. Nope, not going to do it. You hurt me. You hurt me, Brett. You really hurt me.
And then Brett goes, "You're going to hurt me." I think Brett thought he was going to like physically attack him
And he said, "I want my sack back. I want to sack you." And it's probably what he was thinking and probably what he meant. And he says, "We can do it right here on the hard floor. You're going to hurt me." Yes, I probably will. And they don't care. So it was super awkward, but you almost have to watch it to see it again and watch it a couple times to see how it all went down. Well, very strange.
It's like the old baseball story, the old timers game. Gibson gives it the home run, sees him in the old timers game, so he plugged them.
Yeah.
Football needs the old timers game to get some of these aggressions out for some of these things.
Yeah, and if this was seriously that bad, I just hope Gastineau has received therapy or counseling over the years. I don't think he has, because this is deep-seated. This was many years ago. So
yeah, let it go.
I saw your post today. It said, all said is, you got to let it go. That was
let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Very strange, but it is what it is. These competitive athletes have this nature, and they don't let things go like that. They don't forget about them. They get notched back in the back of part of the brain, and they live there. So
because Gastineau, they started this. He kind of started the sack celebration dances too.
I think so. Boy,
he's kind of credited with a lot of that. So every time you see these morons doing their little dances afterwards and wasting 15 seconds, it's Gastineau's fault. We want our game time back, Mark.
Very good showman back in the day. Boy, was he good.
Yep.
That's all I've got for this week. Do you have anything else, Andy?
No, I don't. Like I said, bowl games are starting. We'll hit basketball, high school, college basketball real heavy probably next week. Now that we've got the bowls underway, we'll get the college FCS championship coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll start dibbling in some high school hockey, high school basketball. They all get kicked off and going here.
Awesome. Sounds good. And we'll see you next week. See ya.